Ever get the feeling you think you know something, and then bam, totally different story. That's kind of how I felt digging into A Course in Miracles.
Yeah, it's not your typical spiritual text. Like divine inspiration, okay, we've heard that, but delivered to a couple of psychology professors.
At Columbia University, no less. Helen Schucman and William Thetford, not exactly who you picture as mystics on a mountaintop, right?
Right, they were academics, very much in the thick of it, New York City and all. The course actually makes a point of this, God working in unexpected ways.
I like that. So how did it all go down?
Helen started having these incredibly vivid dreams, then these intense inner dictations, like she was taking down someone else's words.
And that's where William comes in.
Exactly. They worked together. And get this, over 7 years, the words just kept coming, eventually forming this whole structured system for, well, personal transformation.
7 years. That's dedication. And you said structured. It's not just like random thoughts, right?
Not at all. It's got a text, a workbook, even a manual for teachers.
So
It's meant to be studied like a college course, but for your soul, I guess you could say.
intriguing. So not just reading, but really diving in and doing the work.
Exactly. And here's the thing, the preface, it actually says to work with the teachings even if you're not 100% sold on them yet.
I like that. Meet you where you're at kind of thing.
Yeah, very much. And it acknowledges that there's no one-size-fits-all theology, but a universal experience. That's key.
So it's about the individual's journey, not blind faith.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got this unique text, wild origin story, and it's telling us, hey, get your hands dirty, even if you're skeptical. Makes me want to know more about this whole universal experience thing. So this whole nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists, whoa, feels like a pretty big statement, even for a text like this. How do we even wrap our heads around that?
Yeah, it definitely throws you for a loop at first. It's the Course's way of saying, hey, what you see isn't necessarily what you get. It's pointing to the difference between, like, true reality and the reality we perceive.
Okay, I think I'm following. So there's this deeper reality, and then there's how we're each experiencing it through our own, filters.
Exactly. The Course calls the true reality knowledge. Think of it as the unchanging truth of God, of love.
Yeah.
And then there's perception. That's us, our individual interpretations, which, let's be honest, are often colored by fear and all that fun stuff.
So it's like that saying, we don't see the world as it is, we see it as we are.
Right. We get so caught up in our own heads, the dramas we create, that we forget our true nature, that part of us that's whole and connected to that deeper reality, that knowledge of love.
And that's where forgiveness comes in. Because if we're working with a flawed perception, we're bound to get things wrong, make mistakes, judge ourselves and others, maybe even unfairly, right?
Exactly. And that's what's so radical about how the Course approaches forgiveness. It's not about saying, oh, it's okay, what you did was fine. It's about shifting our perception.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's about recognizing that what we perceive as bad, wrong, even evil, it's all just a call for love, a reflection of our own internal state, our own fear, our own sense of separation.
So instead of getting stuck in blame and resentment, it's choosing to see things and people with more understanding and compassion.
Yes. It's about choosing love over fear. And here's where it gets really practical. The Course reminds us that projection makes perception. We're literally projecting our inner world outward.
Whoa, okay, so if we're projecting a world of, fear and scarcity, that's kind of daunting. How do we even begin to change that? I mean, the Course uses all these terms like sin, ego, true self to these help. So we're talking about changing our perception, but how do we even begin to tackle that? The Course uses terms like sin, ego, true self, and I have to admit, it's a lot to unpack.
It's definitely a new way of thinking about things. Take sin, for example. We tend to think of it in terms of, like, breaking rules and punishment, but the Course sees it differently.
How so?
It defines sin simply as a lack of love. It's that disconnect from our true nature, from that deeper reality of love we were talking about earlier.
So less about fire and brimstone, more about remembering we're connected to something bigger than ourselves.
Exactly. And this is where the ego comes in. The Course often refers to it as the little I. It's that part of us that clings to the illusion of separation, that voice that whispers, you're not good enough, or you need to protect yourself.
Oh, I know that voice all too well.
Yeah.
That's the ego.
That's it. And because it's rooted in this illusion of separation, it's constantly seeking fulfillment in all the wrong places, possessions, achievements, approval from others, but it never truly finds it.
Because it's chasing after illusions.
Exactly. Which brings us to the true self, the antidote to all of that. That part of us that the Course says is already whole, complete, connected to that larger reality of love.
So if that wholeness is already within us, how do we get back in touch with it? I mean, the Course talks a lot about relationships. How do they fit into all of this?
Relationships become like a training ground, a place to practice what the Course teaches.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
They offer us endless opportunities to practice forgiveness, to see our interconnectedness, to break down those ego-driven walls we build between ourselves and others.
So instead of approaching relationships from a place of what am I getting out of this,
Hmm.
it's more about seeing them as opportunities for growth and healing.
Exactly. They become these incredible mirrors, reflecting back our own patterns, showing us where we're still holding on to fear, judgment, all of that. And in those moments, when we can choose love, understanding, forgiveness, that's where the real magic happens.
It's about remembering who we truly are. And that brings us to this idea of returning home, which comes up a lot in the Course. What does that actually mean?
Returning home points to remembering our true nature as part of God, part of that internal, loving oneness. And here's the beautiful thing. It's not some far-off destination. It's available to us right here, right now. It's a state of being, a state of consciousness we can choose in every moment.
So this journey of exploring A Course in Miracles, it's about peeling back those layers of fear, judgment, separation to reveal the love, the wholeness that's already within us. It's about seeing the world and ourselves with new eyes.
And remembering those powerful words from the Course. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Within that statement, there's immense freedom.
It's been an incredible deep dive. We've explored the Course's origins, its unique perspective on reality and perception, its radical approach to forgiveness, and the transformative power of remembering who we truly are.
And remember, this is just the beginning. The real work starts when we take these concepts and apply them to our own lives, when we make that conscious choice to see through the lens of love.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into A Course in Miracles, I'll leave you with this question. What kind of world are you choosing to project?